Hello and welcome to another edition of the Eternal Journey. I'm the Resolves, and this is something a little bit different. So given the success of a video we made a couple of weeks ago with the Bloods and Avisar, I thought I'd try something a little bit more spicy before the new expansion came out. So I've gone for a much more unseen theme over here. I replaced the Agiport Instigators with the Darkveil Agents, as this is just going to give us more Nightfall enablers in the deck, which is pretty great with the Mirror's Nightshade and really helps you to race with the Rundra Dustblade. As well as just having more Unseen in the decks, just really allows the common cards to shine. So I've decided to cut the Champion of Cunning because I wanted to try something a little bit different in the 5-drop slot. I want to try Alu Death Dreamer, and what this does is whenever you play a curse, you also get to play a 3/3 Unseen with a random battle skill. So this is pretty good with the Permafrost, as it gives you a 1-cost 3/3 that also is going to stun an opposing unit, as well as the Winter's Grasp, which is often only a temporary solution, but we do have a lot more ways of making Nightfalls now. And we've even got a couple of backdoor ways of causing Nightfall, as I've added in the Memory Dredgers. As what this does is, as it hits the enemy player, you get to play a unit with cost 2 or less from your Void, and that means we get to play the Darkveil Agent, which is going to be able to trigger Nightfall or give our units Aegis again. But it's also going to be able to bring us back Mirror's Nightshades, so if they've been dealt with in the early game, we're able to bring them back, and then perhaps we should be able to ultimate them the turn that we bring it back with Memory Dredger. And this also allows us to, in the really late game, just be able to keep rebuying these Mirror's Nightshade, ultimating them, and then just chucking them into combat, perhaps as a blocker, just to keep them in the bin and keep getting them into play. So it's a little bit Magical Christmas Land, but I just want to see how that works out. Also, because we've cut the Champion of Cunning, we're going to go a little bit less heavy on the double influence. So I've elected to try the Skywalk Enforcer, as we won't realistically always be able to play the Midnight Gale on time. So Skywalk Enforcer is obviously not quite as good, but it is a better blocker and it's more resilient to Torch, of course. And as we are playing quite a lot of curses, as well as even another backdoor way here, we've got Xelia who can make curses, so she's going to get a lot of value out of paying 4 to give an enemy creature a affliction. As it's going to give Xelia +2/+1, but it's also going to give the Skywalk Enforcer +2, and if we're absolutely going off, we get to put an Unseen into play as well with the Elu. We're also playing Lida as sort of an Unseen Carnosaur. The stat line isn't perfect, but this should really help us to get rid of any smaller units, as well as the Overwhelm, allowing this to basically be a little bit of reach in the later game. If we are able to just hit into a 2/1 or something, then we're able to just keep chipping damage, which is sort of on theme with our Nightfall. The power base is a little bit different now, as the Amethyst Monument has recently been buffed to be a 4/4 Puma. So I think this is perhaps a lot more playable now. So I'm pretty interested in including it in the deck. We have gone down on crests a little bit because we're not as dual influence heavy, but as we have gone up on monuments, I sort of wanted to go down somewhere anyway, so the crest were the first fall here. Due to the increased number of Unseens as well, we get to play common cards, and this should really help us as we are able to generate quite a lot of influence. This is going to be a lot better than a Diplo Seal would be for us. Okay, so on to the games. Okay, so easy redraw here. Now we basically get to have perfect influence from here because we get to play down the Seat Cunning at first, and then we get to common cards for Shadow. And we could be against the 3-color beatdown deck over here, so it's going to play out the Seat first. And then hopefully the Nightfalls from here will each sort of be able to chain into one another. So the Darkveil Agent should help us play the Rindra, and the Rindra will help us to play the Lida. Also, Lida's probably pretty good, as she'll be able to crunch in there and get rid of any Vadiuses. Just hit a Shadow here.
Under the cover of darkness.
Though we do also have a pretty good answer to, well, a temporary answer perhaps. Oh, well, we're getting touched, but that's fine. We have a temporary answer to any of the opponent's units here, because even if they do have Aegis, we are able to pop it for Vara's Favor and then put a Permafrost on it.
What do you see?
This isn't exactly what we wanted to see because this has sort of natural endurance, which is probably a bit of a pain for us to deal with. But we're just going to crest here and bottom this seat of Cunning. And not much use in the Virus Favour here, and the Winter's Grasp and Permafrost both rely on our opponent not having endurance. But we should be able to curve up pretty nicely here with a Rindra into a leader. Perhaps playing like an armory deck here because Wisdom of the Elders is a pretty new inclusion there.
This night will be your last.
Just get this Nightfall going here. I'll probably have to play the leader before I attack. As I don't want to get blown up by a mid-combat removal spell. And this is telling me that my opponent's got a Torch. But it's also basically a free attack for them, so I'm just going to allow that. Now, opponent doesn't like it, so it goes in the bottom. This Skywalk Enforcer can be pretty impressive if our opponent is actually beat down deck, because we'll have plenty of buffs from the Permafrost and the Winter's Grasp.
Watch and learn.
So Ryder's going to play the leader out. Off the Kofan. So there's no fast effect there, so we do just get to chunk him for 5 here. There's only single justice here, so no worries about a harsh rule. I won't be playing anything else here. I'll keep this just in case there's a Ruin Hammer, but it'd have to be Ruin Hammer plus Torch to remove any of our units anyway. But I don't think I want to play the Skywalk Enforcer out. I'll perhaps just play this out as a surprise if my opponent just plays something like a Throne Warden here. Then we should be able to make a pretty huge Skywalk as well as just getting it for 1 million. Yep, that'll probably do it. Okay, and we're in the draw here, and Celia is a lot less interesting when you don't have any units to be able to bond her out quickly. So this is an easy redraw. This is not much better. We do desperately need to draw some primal sources here, and these Amethyst Monuments are unlikely to be turned into Pumas here. Okay, well, our opponent's up to something. It looks like this must be like a Grendon beatdown deck. Oh, we could be in trouble here, but we get to get down the primal source, and we perhaps shouldn't have done that, because we could have actually played it as a undepleted source next turn. But this is also fine. We do get to use the Virus Favour here pretty happily. So, Grendon Bellower or the Spark Catcher, what's it to be? I think it's the Bellower. Just let our opponent get this ability when they've actually got the lowest amount of units in play. And I'm going to save this Permafrost just in case you do have like a scrap tank. Happy just to take 4 here. I'll be making a 5/5 next turn. And then turn it after, we should be able to ladder to kill this. That's perfect, so we'll get in there and see if there's any madnesses or combusts. Opponent does have a fast spell here. So they do have Madness, Combust and Rally. I think here we're just going to take the Madness just because it's the most objectively powerful one. The Combust is probably just going to put a Firebomb into our deck and kill our Rindra. So I think to start off we're just going to play a Memory Dragon, as this is slightly less good right now because we don't have anything in our Void for our opponent to be able to, well, for us rather, to be able to put back into play. So this uses Power Combust, our opponent's got a Rally, but the intention here is just to play Rindra into leader, and sort of take over the game from there.
This night will be your last.
Fortunately, we do get to Nightfall here, so our opponent's going to get to draw an extra card. But they don't have any charge units yet, and this is just threatening the rally, but I'm really off that. I'm not interested in it. I'd rather trade the rally sort of defensively. Or rather, I'd let my opponent use the rally defensively. And here's a Groundbreaker, which is pretty good here because it's going to prevent us from gaining life. And there isn't much we can do about that, but we'll just have to Permafrost here. Chunk in for 5 and just start to really race our opponent here.
Watch and learn. I have the target.
So our opponent's doing a straight trade here, which is fine by me. So they're going to have a 1-1 here, but they're going to have no cards. So I'm not going to play the Amethyst Waystone here because I'd rather play on my turn. And I'd really like to find some sort of actual removal for this so we can start to gain life with the Rindra. But also I'm just going to do a bit of old-fashioned racing here.
Just a touch of poison.
And I think we actually get more damage in if we just play the Dredger out. As much as I'd like to get some Nyctophobia stack in here. We also get to Nyctophobia with this and then attack, so we've got a guaranteed 2 damage just from this, and then Nyctophobia will turn the Nightfall back on for Rindra to have Overwhelm. And because of how Memory Dredger works, if our opponent blocks too aggressively on the Mirror's Nightshade and kills it, we do get to get it back in the same combat step, so we'll give our opponent a bit of the old Nyctophobias here. Now we've got a blocker back here, but our opponent's going to die as soon as they untap. There we go. Okay, here's your redraw there, just a mono primal hand. And this is a little bit better. Let's get to play out some depleted power first off. And then just get in there for our free drops. And if we're able to find a bunch of curses, then this Skywalk Enforcer can help us cascade into the Zelia pretty easily with the Bond ability. And of course the Zelia's ability does scale pretty nice with the Skywalk Enforcer here. So I think I've actually got enough power here where I might want to save the Amethyst Monument. I'm just going to play down the Feln Banner. And yep, we're against the Clockroach's deck here, which is quite surprising. But I will actually play the Bloodsaint Aevisar, just because it's a little bit more of a clock. And of course, next turn, if we do draw a curse, we can still grow the Skywalk Enforcer, just because the Clockroach is in play. And that's got the Hail to follow up if we do actually find any curses here. But at very worst, it's reasonable with the Zelia. So just chunk in there for free. And I think actually we're just going to play the Skywalk down. And just get the Nightfall going here. I've got a bunch of Echo, so drawing a million cards isn't exactly perfect for them because they will have to discard. And well, there's a sad level of irony there where our Skywalk Enforcer got cursed. Sadly, the Illusion's not got a very high power here. So I'm just going to keep digging to try and find some curses here. And the Alu is slightly better than the Skywalker Force here, as she is able to not really care too much against any permafrosts. Our opponent has played something that's immune to permafrost, which is pretty sad for us. But we do have a pretty okay answer here in the feeding time. So just get rid of this, because this will just stop us from pushing damage for quite some time. I don't think we need to Virus Favor quite yet. But I like the amount of evasion in the deck, even though we've got quite a few Suffocate targets. They've got a lot of low power, but their Nightfall sort of gives you a little bit of reach here. Let's just annihilate this. I think last time I probably could have annihilated Zelia, perhaps. Actually, do we get to... Nope, we don't get to do anything super stylish here. But we do get to Mirrors and get a Nyctophobia out there. Man, this is exciting. It was pretty dead here. I mean, they'd need like some sort of crystallized thing to just stick around for a bit, but we are able to perhaps draw into another way to find some more Nightfall here. I've got another Nightfall trigger over here, so I'm actually wanting to do it. Yeah. So this will cost 3. And then we'll be able to make another Unseen just for... Oh, can't. Oh, Bond's stupid. You can't do the Exhausted, which of course you can't. So we're just playing for our food here, just being a little bit unfair. But I was just trying to see if there was any way where I could... Wow, okay. So opponent gets to pick what they want to destroy here, but I think it's a little bit too late. As we do get to Rindra plus the Virus Favor. So a little bit sloppy, but we got there in the end. Okay, and this will be the last one here, but I think this is a keepable hand here. And it's a little bit more exciting because we get to play the Crest to bottom any sort of powers. Help us find an Unseen, and the Memory Dredger is quite a nice curve with the Bloodstone Aviasaur. But I don't think we can... I'm just going to have this as a body. I think we'll keep that. And I'll get better later. Also, the Virus Intervention is pretty good with the Memory Dredger because it helps you get that little bit of value out of it. Sadly, the Memory Dredger is a nightmare rather than an Unseen, and we drew a second copy anyway. Now, probably might be on some sort of
Safe travels.
Molten Fist Armory, or perhaps it's just the Phoenix style of Heart Pile. Okay, we're just in a sort of racing situation.
No witnesses.
Oops, I meant to play the Memory Dredger here, but I guess we just misclicked and put the Skywalking Force into play. But it's not the end of the world here. Yeah, is this at least lets us play the Zelia next time. So I just get to attack here for free. And we get to make an Amethyst Waystar. Start going off with Zelias. Next turn, if we activate this one to kill the Amber Acolyte, we do get to play the second Zelia for free. But we do need to be sort of wary of a harsh rule here if our opponent is playing some sort of... okay, well, we're both going to kill 2 of our things but lose the die show. Okay, that's aggressive. So I'll just kill this. Because it's quite a nice target to be able to chuck the Zealer out. But first off, I think we're just going to sabotage and see what our opponent's up to. And we've got a Vanquish, so they did have an answer to the Zealia. So it all sort of makes sense here. And our opponent here is... they just want to spend their entire turn using Molten Fist. That's fine by me. So I think we'll just take the Vanquish.
Truly is a curse.
I don't get to do much with this, but we do get to draw one of these Unseens back, and there's no Unseens we really want in the graveyard, just the Skywalking Force. But if the opponent uses the Molten Fist here to take out the 6/5, then they do lose the Molten Fist. But it's much more mana than, well, much more power they would have had to spend than if they just played the Vanquish. They could have perhaps added to the board if they made the Vanquish as well. So I'm just going to attack him for 4. Sadly we do need like a target for this. We've got enough power here just to be able to play the Virus Intervention and bring out the Zealia whenever we need to. Don't need to be worrying over here about any sort of Void Hate because they're not in the right colours for that, but they do get to Disjunction the Molten Fist, which is a pretty powerful play. Well, the Starskull Die Shell, sorry. But we'll be taking 1,000,000 from doing that. And right here, we'll just get this Mirror's Nightshade down. Just get this Nyctophobia off as soon as possible and just put our opponent under the clock. And if they deal with this, we do get to Virus Intervention this as the next sort of plan. I think the plan right here is just to pull out a Permafrost. Memory Dredger. We're just gonna... how do we use this? I suppose we target ourselves. Get the Mirror's Nightshade back. Play the Waste on it to turn it back to nighttime. And then get to kill our opponent on the next turn no matter what. Really big fan of this new emote over here that I just unlocked with the I suppose the faction progress. That was a little bit tougher because it's got the Rune Hammer. But right here, just gonna roll up the Mirror's Nightshade here, so I'm taking 3 a turn just from Nightfall alone. Just gonna keep this Hammerfist Waystone in hand just as another little bolt we've got in hand here. This Amethyst Waystone basically Valcut right now.
Think you can escape me?
I'd want to just get to start our unit, but it's a little bit too late. As right now they will be dead just to us being able to trigger Nightfall again.
Safe travels, friend.
No.
Just a touch of poison.
I suppose we'll just go for the gift.
Breathe it in.
Okay, so that was the Cursed Nightfall deck. I decided to just have a little bit of fun with this because we don't know where the meta is going to be, so the new expansion is going to be coming out in the perhaps tomorrow, perhaps the day after. We're not entirely certain here, but that's going to shake up things quite a lot. So far, just play with this old unseen pile, and I was overall impressed with the deck actually. The Skywalking Enforcer wasn't exactly perfect. When it was at its best was actually when it was sat underneath a Permafrost, just gaining power, and sadly I wasn't able to use it gaining power to be able to trigger out one of these Zealias. But the Virus Intervention was actually an MVP in the final game there, and that just leads to Mirror's Nightshade as being a favourite 2-drop of mine right now. Just a huge fan of this Nyctophobias, as Nyctophobia Lethal is definitely best lethal. The Memory Dredgers are perhaps a little bit too slow, but I can see sort of more grindy games where this is going to be busted, and as much as I do enjoy the idea of just bringing back Infinite Mirror's Nightshades and Darkveil Agent, just a reasonably sized body, just a 3/4 flyer is probably going to be able to get the job done most of the time. Anyway, thanks for watching, I've had a blast. I've been That Resolves, and this was Cursed Nightfall.